Your soulmate is about to make a bold move that will surprise everyone. Don't scroll, listen to this because your heart needs this right now. This message is for you. If these words have found you today, take a moment and breathe, because this isn't happening by accident. Out of millions of people scrolling through endless videos, your eyes stopped here for a reason. Maybe you've been asking the universe for a sign. Maybe you've been wondering if the silence means the story is over. Maybe you've been trying to convince yourself to let go while your heart quietly whispers that something unfinished still remains. Listen to this, because your heart needs this right now. The energy surrounding your connection is shifting in ways that neither you nor your soulmate fully expected. For a long time, everything seemed frozen. Days passed without answers. Weeks turned into months. You questioned every memory, every conversation, and every promise that once made your heart feel safe. There were nights when you looked at the ceiling asking, was any of it real? There were mornings when you promised yourself you were done waiting, only to find yourself thinking about them again before the day was over. If that has been your experience, this message is for you. Sometimes the universe allows silence not because love has disappeared, but because two hearts need time to become stronger before they can recognize each other again. While you believed nothing was changing, something remarkable was taking place beneath the surface. Your soulmate was entering a season of awakening. It didn't begin with a dramatic event. It started with small moments that slowly became impossible to ignore. A familiar song played during an ordinary drive home. A stranger said something that reminded them of a conversation they once shared with you. They noticed the same repeating numbers, 111, 222, 444, appearing again and again, gently inviting them to pause and reflect. Whether they saw those moments as spiritual signs or meaningful coincidences, one thing became impossible to deny. Every path they followed somehow brought them back to thoughts of you. Don't scroll, because your heart needs this right now. There was a time when your soulmate believed distance would erase emotion. They thought that if enough time passed, the connection would simply become another memory. Instead, time became a mirror. It reflected every lesson they had avoided. It showed them the difference between temporary excitement and genuine peace. It revealed that the person they kept comparing everyone else to was you. They began noticing that no conversation felt as effortless as the ones they shared with you. No laughter felt quite as genuine. No emotional connection carried the same sense of comfort. At first, they resisted those realizations. Pride whispered that looking back was a mistake. Fear warned them that admitting the truth would make them vulnerable. But the heart has a remarkable way of outlasting fear. Listen to this, because your heart needs this right now. While your soulmate was confronting those difficult truths, something equally powerful was happening within you. You were healing in ways you didn't even notice. You stopped chasing people who weren't willing to meet you halfway. You stopped apologizing for having a kind heart. You started choosing peace over constant uncertainty. Slowly, almost without realizing it, you became someone who understood that real love never asks you to lose yourself in order to keep someone else. That transformation matters because the universe doesn't simply reunite people. It prepares them. It teaches them lessons they couldn't have learned together. It shapes their hearts so that if another opportunity comes, they can build something healthier than before. This message is for you. Your soulmate has finally reached the point where thinking about you is no longer enough. Reflection has turned into conviction. Regret has turned into determination. Every day they remain silent now feels heavier than the fear of speaking. They have realized that the biggest risk is no longer reaching out. The biggest risk is spending the rest of their life wondering what would have happened if they had found the courage to act. Listen to this, because your heart needs this right now. The bold move they are preparing isn't just surprising because of what they may do. It's surprising because of who they have become. The person who once hesitated is learning courage. The person who once avoided difficult conversations is beginning to understand that honesty creates freedom. The person who once believed vulnerability was weakness is discovering that it is actually where the deepest connections are born. Growth has quietly transformed them, one lesson at a time. This message is for you. Think about your own journey. There was a season when you would have accepted almost any explanation just to keep the connection alive. Today, your standards are different. You have learned that words without action eventually lose their meaning. You have learned that consistency speaks louder than promises. You have learned that genuine love is demonstrated through respect, effort, and accountability. Those lessons have prepared you for whatever comes next. Don't scroll, because your heart needs this right now. Imagine your soulmate sitting alone after another ordinary day. The room is quiet. The distractions have faded. For the first time in a long while, they stop imagining all the reasons not to act. Instead, they imagine what could happen if they finally listened to their heart instead of their fear. They picture your smile. They remember the peace they felt in your presence. They realize that every excuse they once believed has slowly fallen apart. One thought keeps returning with greater strength than ever before: if I don't take this chance, I may regret it forever. That single thought changes everything. Listen to this, because your heart needs this right now. Sometimes destiny doesn't arrive with fireworks. Sometimes it begins with one brave decision. One honest message. One unexpected conversation. One moment when someone chooses truth over comfort. The universe has been preparing your soulmate for that moment through every disappointment, every lesson, and every season of reflection. They are beginning to understand that love isn't proven by perfect timing. It is proven by the willingness to grow, to admit mistakes, and to show up with sincerity. This message is for you. Whether this bold move becomes a conversation, an apology, an unexpected visit, or simply the courage to speak feelings that have remained hidden, remember one thing above all else: your value has never depended on whether someone recognized it quickly or slowly. You have always been worthy of honesty, kindness, and respect. If someone comes back into your life, let it be because they have truly changed, not because you forgot your own worth. Keep your heart open, but keep your wisdom with it. Because the next chapter isn't just about your soulmate making a bold move. It's about both of you discovering whether growth has transformed your connection into something strong enough to build a completely new beginning. And what happens next may surprise not only the people around you, but even the two of you. Don't scroll, listen to this because your heart needs this right now. This message is for you. There is something happening behind the scenes that you cannot fully see yet, but your spirit has already begun to feel it. Have you noticed how your intuition has become stronger lately? Maybe you've been waking up with an unexplainable sense that something is about to change. Maybe certain memories have returned without warning, not to reopen old wounds, but to remind you that some stories are not finished until every lesson has been learned. Listen to this, because your heart needs this right now. The universe has been moving pieces into place with incredible precision. What looked like delays were actually moments of preparation. What felt like rejection was often protection. What seemed like silence was a season where both hearts were being transformed in ways that could never have happened if everything had unfolded according to your own timeline. You wondered why nothing was happening, but something was happening every single day. Your heart was learning patience while your soulmate was learning truth. You were discovering your worth while they were discovering the cost of taking genuine love for granted. This message is for you. Your soulmate has reached a point where pretending no longer works. They have tried convincing themselves that enough time would erase what they feel, but every passing week has only strengthened the realization that your connection was unlike anything they have experienced before. They have met new people. They have kept themselves busy. They have focused on work, responsibilities, and everything they believed would help them move on. Yet every road has somehow circled back to the same destination. Your memory. Your kindness. Your encouragement. The peace they felt when they were simply themselves around you. Don't scroll, because your heart needs this right now. One of the greatest surprises is not that your soulmate still thinks about you. The greatest surprise is that they have finally stopped fighting those thoughts. Instead of pushing your memory away, they have started asking why it never disappeared. Instead of searching for distractions, they have started searching for honesty. Instead of blaming circumstances, they have begun accepting responsibility for the choices they made. That shift changes everything because growth always begins when excuses lose their power. Listen to this, because your heart needs this right now. There were moments when your soulmate believed vulnerability would make them weak. They feared rejection more than regret. They believed silence was safer than honesty. But life has quietly shown them something different. Every day they remain silent now feels heavier than the possibility of hearing an answer they cannot predict. They have realized that the greatest risk is not opening their heart. The greatest risk is allowing fear to write the ending of a story that still deserves an honest chance. This message is for you. While your soulmate has been wrestling with these emotions, you have become someone entirely different from the person you were when this journey began. You no longer measure your value by how quickly someone responds to you. You no longer spend endless nights wondering whether you are enough. Healing has taught you that you were always enough. The only thing that changed was your willingness to believe it. That quiet confidence is one of the greatest gifts the universe has given you. It has prepared you to receive love without abandoning your own peace. Listen to this, because your heart needs this right now. Perhaps you've noticed repeating numbers appearing more often than usual. Maybe 111 catches your attention just as you begin imagining a brighter future. Maybe 222 appears when you're learning to trust that everything is unfolding at the right pace. Perhaps 555 reminds you that change often feels uncomfortable before it becomes beautiful. Or maybe 888 quietly encourages you to believe that abundance arrives after seasons of faithful growth. However you interpret these moments, let them remind you to stay open to hope while remaining grounded in wisdom. This message is for you. Somewhere, your soulmate is replaying conversations they once rushed through. They remember moments when you tried to understand them instead of judging them. They remember the encouragement you offered during seasons when they doubted themselves. They remember your laughter, your patience, and the way ordinary moments somehow felt meaningful simply because you were there. Those memories no longer feel like distant echoes. They feel like reminders of what authentic connection actually looks like. Don't scroll, because your heart needs this right now. The bold move they are preparing is not driven by loneliness. It is being shaped by clarity. There is a significant difference between missing someone because you feel alone and recognizing someone's value because you have finally become honest with yourself. Your soulmate is beginning to understand that they were not searching for another person all this time. They were searching for the feeling they only experienced when they allowed themselves to be completely genuine with you. That realization has become impossible to ignore. Listen to this. Because your heart needs this right now. The universe is also asking you to remember something important. If someone returns to your life, let their actions speak louder than their promises. Let consistency matter more than emotion. Let accountability matter more than beautiful words. Growth is measured by what someone repeatedly chooses, not simply by what they say in one emotional moment. Your healing has earned that wisdom, and it deserves to remain part of every decision you make. This message is for you. Imagine your soulmate standing outside, looking at the evening sky after another ordinary day. They take a deep breath and realize that every reason they once had for staying silent has lost its strength. Fear has become smaller. Pride has become quieter. Hope has become louder. They begin imagining the possibility of reaching out. Not because they expect everything to be easy, but because they finally understand that living honestly is more important than protecting an image that no longer reflects who they have become. Don't scroll, because your heart needs this right now. Destiny often begins moving the moment two hearts complete the lessons they needed to learn apart. You have learned self-worth. Your soulmate has learned gratitude. You have learned patience. They have learned humility. Those lessons were never meant to separate you forever. They were meant to prepare each of you for whatever chapter comes next. Whether that chapter becomes reconciliation or simply a beautiful confirmation of how much both of you have grown, one truth remains unchanged: neither of you is the same person you were before. And as your soulmate gathers the courage to make the bold move they have delayed for so long, one unforgettable moment is drawing closer. The moment when silent realization becomes visible action, and when the choice they make has the power to surprise not only everyone around you, but even the two hearts that have been quietly changing all along. Don't scroll, listen to this because your heart needs this right now. This message is for you. There are moments when destiny becomes impossible to ignore, even for the person who spent the longest time running from it. Your soulmate has entered that moment. For weeks, maybe even months, they tried convincing themselves that staying silent was the safest choice. They believed enough time would make their feelings disappear. They believed that if they buried their emotions beneath work, responsibilities, and distractions, eventually their heart would stop searching for yours. But something unexpected happened. Instead of fading, the connection became stronger. Every attempt to move away somehow led them back to the same realization. No matter where life took them, your memory remained the one place their heart continued to return. Listen to this, because your heart needs this right now. The universe has been teaching your soulmate lessons they never imagined they would have to learn. They have discovered that success means very little when there is no one special to celebrate it with. They have learned that crowded rooms can still feel lonely when the one person who truly understood them is missing. They have realized that temporary excitement can never replace genuine emotional peace. Those lessons did not arrive to punish them. They arrived to awaken them. Every disappointment quietly removed another layer of pride until only honesty remained. This message is for you. While your soulmate has been changing, your own heart has been transforming in beautiful ways. Think about the person you were when this journey first began. You were searching for answers everywhere. You questioned yourself more than you questioned the situation. You wondered if loving someone deeply had somehow become your greatest weakness. But today something inside you feels different. You have started trusting your intuition instead of your fears. You have stopped chasing certainty from people who could not offer consistency. You have learned that peace is worth protecting. That growth has become one of your greatest strengths. Don't scroll, because your heart needs this right now. The bold move your soulmate is preparing did not begin with action. It began with truth. One evening they found themselves alone with nothing but their own thoughts. There were no distractions left. No conversations to hide behind. No noise loud enough to silence the questions inside their heart. They remembered your smile. They remembered the way you believed in them when they struggled to believe in themselves. They remembered the comfort of simply being accepted without pretending to be someone else. In that quiet moment, they admitted something they had avoided for far too long. They whispered to themselves, "I never truly stopped caring." Those words changed everything because once the truth is spoken inside the heart, it becomes much harder to ignore outside of it. Listen to this, because your heart needs this right now. Perhaps you've been noticing small signs that encourage you to keep believing. Maybe you glance at the clock and repeatedly see 11:11. Maybe 2:22 appears when you're questioning divine timing. Perhaps 4:44 reminds you that you are supported even during seasons of uncertainty. Maybe 555 keeps showing up as a gentle reminder that major change often begins quietly before it becomes obvious. Whether you see these moments as spiritual guidance or meaningful coincidences, allow them to remind you that every season has a purpose. This message is for you. Your soulmate is no longer asking whether they should acknowledge what they feel. That question has already been answered. Now they are asking how they can move forward with honesty instead of fear. They understand that courage is not the absence of uncertainty. Courage is choosing truth even when the outcome cannot be guaranteed. They know there are no promises. They know they cannot rewrite the past. But they have also realized that remaining silent guarantees only one thing: a lifetime of wondering what might have happened if they had simply been honest. Don't scroll. Because your heart needs this right now. The universe is also reminding you to remain grounded in your own healing. If someone returns to your life, let them meet the stronger version of you. Let them meet someone who knows their value, who communicates openly, and who no longer mistakes inconsistency for love. You have earned that confidence through every difficult lesson. Do not leave it behind simply because emotions become strong again. Real love grows stronger when both people have learned to respect themselves as much as they respect each other. Listen to this, because your heart needs this right now. Somewhere, your soulmate has started imagining what it would feel like to finally stop hiding. They picture sending the message they have rewritten countless times. They imagine hearing your voice after so much silence. They wonder whether forgiveness is still possible. They wonder whether the universe has given them another chance or whether they waited too long. Those questions no longer scare them the way they once did because they have discovered something even more frightening than rejection: living the rest of their life without ever trying. This message is for you. The bold move that is forming inside your soulmate's heart is not driven by impulse. It is being shaped by growth, humility, reflection, and gratitude. They have stopped focusing on what they might lose and started focusing on what they could still build if they choose honesty. That shift changes everything. It transforms hesitation into determination. It transforms regret into responsibility. It transforms hope into action. Don't scroll, because your heart needs this right now. Your own journey has never been about waiting for someone else to complete you. It has always been about becoming whole enough to recognize healthy love when it appears. Whether the future brings reconciliation or a completely new chapter, the healing you have experienced remains one of the greatest gifts of this entire story. You have become wiser. You have become stronger. You have become someone who understands that genuine love is built through trust, accountability, consistency, and mutual effort. Listen to this, because your heart needs this right now. The next chapter is approaching quickly. Your soulmate is standing at the edge of a decision that can no longer be postponed. Every lesson has prepared them for this moment. Every memory has led them here. Every quiet prayer, every unexpected reminder, every season of reflection has brought them one step closer to choosing courage over comfort. The move they are about to make will surprise the people who believed they would never change. It may even surprise you. But before that moment arrives, one final truth must settle completely inside their heart, a truth that will become the foundation for everything they choose next. And when that realization is complete, nothing about this journey will remain the same again. Don't scroll, listen to this because your heart needs this right now. This message is for you. There are moments when everything changes without making a sound. No announcement. No warning. Just a quiet shift in the heart that suddenly makes yesterday's fears feel smaller than tomorrow's possibilities. That is exactly where your soulmate is standing. For so long they believed courage was something other people possessed. They watched life happen from a distance, convincing themselves that waiting was safer than risking disappointment. But something inside them has awakened. Every lesson they have lived through has led to this exact moment, and now they can no longer ignore the truth that has been calling their name. Listen to this, because your heart needs this right now. The bold move they are preparing is not being driven by emotion alone. It is being guided by clarity. There is a tremendous difference between acting because you miss someone and acting because you finally understand their value. Your soulmate has crossed that line. They no longer see your connection through the lens of fear, confusion, or pride. They see it through gratitude. They recognize that some people enter your life to teach temporary lessons, while others leave an imprint on your soul that time cannot erase. Every attempt they made to replace what they shared with you only revealed how unique your connection truly was. This message is for you. Have you noticed how your own heart has become quieter lately? You still remember the past, but it no longer controls every thought. You still think about what happened, but you are no longer trapped inside those memories. Healing has given you something priceless. It has taught you that peace is not found by forcing someone to understand your worth. Peace is found when you recognize it for yourself. That inner confidence has become the foundation the universe wanted you to build before anything else could unfold. Don't scroll. Because your heart needs this right now. There were seasons when you wondered if your prayers had gone unanswered. You looked at closed doors and assumed they were permanent endings. You questioned why the universe seemed silent when your heart needed reassurance the most. Looking back now, you may begin to realize that silence was never abandonment. It was preparation. Every delay gave both of you time to grow into people who could approach love with greater wisdom instead of greater fear. Listen to this, because your heart needs this right now. Somewhere, your soulmate has started replaying not only the big moments you shared but also the smallest ones. They remember ordinary conversations that somehow made difficult days easier. They remember the way you celebrated their victories without jealousy. They remember how you listened without rushing to judge. Those simple moments have become extraordinary in hindsight because they now understand that genuine love is built from everyday acts of kindness rather than grand gestures alone. This message is for you. The universe often teaches its greatest lessons through contrast. Your soulmate had to experience what life felt like without your steady presence before they could fully appreciate what you brought into it. They had to discover the difference between attention and understanding, between excitement and stability, between temporary comfort and lasting connection. Those discoveries have transformed them. They are no longer searching for the next distraction. They are searching for what is real. Don't scroll, because your heart needs this right now. Perhaps you have been noticing little reminders that encourage you to keep believing. Maybe 111 appears just when you begin imagining a brighter future. Maybe 222 reminds you to trust the process instead of rushing the outcome. Perhaps 444 gives you a quiet sense of protection during uncertain moments, while 777 gently reminds you that wisdom often grows through waiting. Whether you see these moments as spiritual signs or simply meaningful coincidences, let them remind you that your journey is still unfolding one step at a time. Listen to this, because your heart needs this right now. The bold move your soulmate is preparing has already begun inside their heart, even if no one else can see it yet. They have stopped asking themselves whether reaching out is the right thing to do. Instead, they are asking themselves how they can approach you with honesty, humility, and respect. They know they cannot erase the past. They know trust cannot be rebuilt through one emotional conversation. They understand that actions must become stronger than promises. That realization marks the greatest change they have experienced. This message is for you. At the same time, the universe is asking you to remain faithful to the growth you have already achieved. Do not forget the lessons that healed you. Do not lower the standards that brought you peace. If someone truly returns with a transformed heart, you will recognize it not because of beautiful words but because of consistent actions. Real change is patient. It is steady. It is willing to earn trust instead of demanding it. Those truths will protect your heart while keeping it open to genuine possibilities. Don't scroll, because your heart needs this right now. Imagine your soulmate standing at the edge of one decision that could reshape everything. Their heart is racing because they know this choice requires vulnerability. They understand that honesty always carries uncertainty. Yet they have also learned that silence carries an even greater cost. Every day spent hiding the truth has become heavier than the possibility of hearing an answer they cannot predict. For the first time, hope feels stronger than fear. For the first time, they are choosing faith over hesitation. Listen to this, because your heart needs this right now. Destiny is rarely about perfection. It is about two people growing enough to meet each other with greater understanding than before. That is the season you are entering now. Whether this bold move becomes an unexpected message, a heartfelt conversation, or an encounter neither of you planned, remember that your journey has already changed you for the better. You are no longer waiting from a place of emptiness. You are standing in your own strength, ready to welcome only what aligns with the peace you have worked so hard to create. And as your soulmate gathers every ounce of courage to take the step they once believed they never could, the next chapter waits just beyond the horizon, a chapter where hidden feelings can no longer remain hidden, where bold intentions become undeniable actions, and where the surprise that has been quietly forming in the unseen world finally begins revealing itself in ways that neither of you ever expected. Don't scroll, listen to this because your heart needs this right now. This message is for you. There comes a moment when the universe stops preparing someone and starts inviting them to act. Your soulmate has reached that moment. For what feels like forever, they have been standing at the edge of a decision, looking back at every memory, every conversation, and every opportunity they allowed to slip away. They thought they needed more time. They thought another week, another month, or another season would somehow make the decision easier. Instead, every passing day has only made one truth clearer than ever before. They cannot continue pretending that your connection was ordinary. It wasn't. It never was. Listen to this, because your heart needs this right now. The bold move they are about to make is surprising because it goes against the version of themselves everyone has come to expect. The people around them know the old version, the one who hid emotions, avoided difficult conversations, and convinced everyone that everything was fine even when their heart was carrying a storm. But that person has slowly disappeared. Life has changed them. Every disappointment became a lesson. Every lonely evening became a mirror. Every missed opportunity became another reminder that fear had been making decisions that love should have made. This message is for you. Somewhere, your soulmate is beginning to understand that courage is not the absence of uncertainty. Courage is choosing to speak honestly even when the answer cannot be predicted. They have imagined every possible outcome. They have wondered whether you will welcome them, whether you have moved on, whether too much time has passed. Yet one thought continues returning with greater strength than every fear combined: if I never try, I will never forgive myself. That single realization has become the turning point in their journey. Don't scroll, because your heart needs this right now. While your soulmate has been preparing to move forward, you have been creating a life that no longer depends on someone else's choices. That is one of the greatest transformations this journey has given you. You are no longer waiting in the same way you once did. You are no longer placing your happiness on hold. You have discovered that your peace is something worth protecting. You have learned that love should add to your life, not become the only reason you feel complete. Those lessons have quietly prepared you for this very season. Listen to this, because your heart needs this right now. Perhaps you've noticed your heart feels calmer than it once did. You still believe in meaningful connections, but you no longer chase them out of fear. You trust that what is truly meant for you will arrive without forcing you to abandon your self-respect. That calmness is not indifference. It is healing. It is evidence that the universe has been strengthening your spirit while everything else found its proper place. This message is for you. Your soulmate has also begun recognizing the signs that have surrounded them for weeks. They keep seeing repeating patterns that remind them to slow down and reflect. Maybe it is 111 appearing during moments of hope, 222 encouraging patience, 444 offering reassurance, or 555 reminding them that change is already unfolding. Whether they understand these moments spiritually or simply see them as meaningful reminders, each one has gently encouraged them to stop running from the truth. Listen to this, because your heart needs this right now. Imagine them sitting quietly one evening, holding their phone, thinking about sending a message they have rewritten 100 different times. Every version says something different, yet every version begins with the same feeling: honesty. They finally understand that perfect words do not matter as much as a sincere heart. They realize that pretending nothing happened is no longer possible because their heart refuses to cooperate with the story their pride once created. This message is for you. The bold move is no longer just an idea. It has become a decision waiting for the right moment. They are beginning to organize their thoughts, preparing themselves to speak with humility instead of expectation. They know they cannot demand forgiveness. They know they cannot expect trust to return overnight. They understand that if another chapter is ever written, it must begin with accountability, patience, and consistent actions rather than promises alone. That understanding is one of the clearest signs that growth has truly taken place. Don't scroll, because your heart needs this right now. The universe is also asking you to remember something important as this story unfolds. If someone returns, welcome only the version of them that has genuinely changed. Do not ignore the wisdom your healing has given you. Let your heart remain open, but let your discernment walk beside it. Healthy love is not built by forgetting the past. It is built by learning from it together. Listen to this, because your heart needs this right now. There is an incredible difference between someone who misses you because they feel lonely and someone who returns because they finally understands your worth. Your soulmate is discovering that difference for themselves. They no longer want temporary comfort. They want authenticity. They no longer want to avoid difficult conversations. They want the kind of honesty that creates lasting peace. Those desires were born from reflection, not impulse. This message is for you. As this chapter comes to a close, one thing becomes unmistakably clear. The season of hesitation is ending. The season of action is beginning. Your soulmate is gathering the courage they once believed they would never have. Every lesson has led them to this point. Every memory has shaped this decision. Every quiet prayer, every tear, every moment of healing has prepared both of your hearts for whatever comes next. The bold move that once existed only in their imagination is now closer than ever to becoming reality. And in the final chapter, the choice they make will not simply surprise everyone around you, it will reveal just how much two hearts can change when truth finally becomes stronger than fear.